Alright, so a few guys asked for a deck list, couple on YouTube, couple on Discord and all that stuff, so I'm just doing that here for my Sams. 3 Grandmaster, yeah, that's pretty standard, honestly. Makes sense. It's your biggest dude, gets out for free if you have another 6 Sam on the field. You want to search this guy with Gateway. Yeah, important to note, okay? He dodges oppression and he dodges um, judgment, solemn judgment. Okay, the contingency is if the oppression is yours and your opponent uses your oppression, it does not get destroyed because it needs to be your opponent's card effect. Um, if you if they use their oppression, let's say they're playing value, and you special this guy, they pay 100, negate his effect, he goes to graveyard. You can add him back. Okay. Also, second thing important to note is that on resolution, he needs to be in graveyard. So, D Fissure, Macrocosmos, not that good. I do not run that. I know some lists run that, but I do not run it. I don't like it because it hurts you as much as it hurts them. Um, but in saying that, if you special a Grandmaster because you have another 6 Sam out, they go bottomless. It's destroyed on resolution. He's over here. You choose a card at the end. I can get this Grandmaster, special him again. If there is no Grandmaster in your graveyard, you special summon. They bottomless, destroyed. Resolution is banished. There's nothing in your graveyard to add. You cannot add anything. Okay. A couple things to just watch out for with Grandmaster. The Grandmaster is loaded. He dodges judgment. He dodges oppression. Pretty cool dude. 3 Zanji. Okay. Zanji, I like at 3 because he's 18. 100 attack, not years old. It's good to just stick out if you have like nothing to really search for, right? If you go Rhoda on your first turn, you have a Grandmaster in your hand. Pretty good to just get this. If you're going second, you might want to get a Yaichi or something to stop some back row, but the Zanji's nice going first or just to have out because he's a bigger body. Zanji works in such a way that, let's say I have a 6 M out, and then they have like, he's good into Machina. I'll tell you why, because he swings, it's not destroyed by battle, and neither is he targeted by a card effect, okay? So Machina Fortress, he's good into him. You take 700, he gets destroyed after. He doesn't, Zanji's one of the guys that says that you don't need him to be face up and on the field to resolve the effect. So you swing, take 7. At the end of the damage step, whoever you swung into is popped. Okay, swing into Spirit Reaper, Christia, JD, whatever. You take the damage, get him off. It's a 1-for-1. It's good. It's a 1-for-1. Yeah. Yeah. 3 of them. I go 2 Iroh because you do kind of want to see him, but you also don't because he's not 18. He is 1700, and you want to see him going first. Going second sometimes because if they run, like if you game 1 you're going second, they T set pass, right? Let's say their T set is like Bluff Legacy or it's a Trap Stun or Dust Tornado or something like that, right? If it's not bottomless, you get this guy out. You get a Grandmaster out, and you swing. It's insta pop, okay? Because this Iroh pops before damage step. So Raikou doesn't flip. Hamster doesn't flip. If you're swinging into a set, Spirit Reaper doesn't flip. Grave Reaper Spy doesn't flip. You flip him off by sending it to the graveyard immediately. Doesn't get his effect. He's a better Aaron. Yaichi. Yaichi is pretty sick if you're going first, especially because like if you have like a Grandmaster or something in hand or a way to search him out, you normal him, especially your second guy. If it's a bottomless, who cares? It's a 1-for-1. You have your Yaichi still. I don't prio him unless I have another guy out already. And then let's say I special, they have some kind of response. They go TT or something, whatever, right? Like it's fine. You save the Yaichi. They're like he wasn't gonna attack anyways. But the contingency on Yaichi is that he doesn't get to attack the turn that you use his effect. So you pop a bottomless. Like let's say you've done this, their turn, they pass. You have these two guys out. You pop whatever's on their field, and it's just free. He just gets to stick, right? But I don't prio him because let's say it's dust tornado or something like that, right? And they chain it to your summon. If it's dust tornado, you can still swing, right? But if it's like a trap hole or something, I use his effect to pop the other guy, whoever I already had out or something, let's say, and he still gets to swing, or he doesn't. Sorry, he doesn't get to swing if you use the effect, but yeah, you get the point. Don't prio him. Don't prio him unless you have another 6 hand out. Here's a build that you can prio though. Hand, pretty important in this deck because there's a hand quote unquote loop. It's not a hand loop where you rip the cards out. It's not a hand rip. It's a hand loop where if you have a couple gateways or Uniteds and a gateway, you can do an infinite loop. But I'll get to that. Hand is pretty good, but she's one of the only 6 Sams that doesn't have the protection effect. Okay. So swinging into her is not that good. You always want her as utility to get stuff off the field. Good into like deep block or something like that if you have another Sam, or if you have the gate loop, it's pretty good. Yeah. You can prio her, right? Get around things like bottomless and stuff because you get her. You will get your counters, okay? Gateway will get counters regardless. It does not start a chain and it does not check anything. Like Whirlwind. Whirlwind checks attack, so that's why if you bottomless, there's nothing on the field. It's like, okay, I don't add anything. But Gateway doesn't care. United doesn't care. You get your counters anyways. You do this if you read a bottomless, if you've had a couple battle phases and they haven't used anything, you haven't summoned anything, or trap does shoot, their hand, or you have a trap stun, anything like that. Boom. Get this girl out, prio, pop whatever they have. You can swing with your other guy. Obviously, you have to have another 6 Sam for this. You can tribute herself, which is important, but you tribute a 6 Sam, pop a monster on the field, you can swing easy. Yeah. Couple last monsters. Last 6 Sam in the deck is Spirit. Spirit's really good. You normal him and you equip it to a 6 Sam. 2 counters are already equipped, and then it boosts the 6 Sam that it's equipped to by 500. So now, like, let's say your weakest 6 Sam, which is a Yaichi, now becomes an 18, right? So you go normal, let anything happen because it's not going to be a bottomless. If it's TT, who cares? You go over here. Use the Aichi, you use Aichi effect first. Equip him, he's at 18. Nothing's really swinging into it. If you swing into it, you just destroy the Spirit instead. Spirit says that you destroy him instead when a 6 Sam, when the 6 Sam that it's equipped to is destroyed. It's mandatory though. So like, let's say you have this, and they go Mirror Force, or they go TT or something. This has to get destroyed first, so I can't use Yaichi's effect to pop Iroh, and then Iroh will pop this, and then he's destroyed afterwards. No, you have to go this first because it's mandatory, and then you can optionally choose. But in that case, like, this is typically what happens, right? Last thing about Spirit is that when he destroys a monster, sorry, not when when he's equipped to a monster and it destroys another monster by battle, you draw a card. One thing important to note to that is if you are equipped to Iroh and he swings and he destroys like a Raikou face down or a hamster face down, you don't get the draw because it's not a battle, it's by effect. Iroh's destroying by effect, so you don't get the effect of Spirit. You have to destroy it by battle. But it doesn't need to go to the graveyard. That's another important thing, I guess. Also, that's another cool thing as to why some decks run D-Fissure or Cosmos. But if you swing it, let's say Yaichi, and you destroy something, then it goes to graveyard and you draw. Yeah? Yeah, it doesn't stop anything in change and stuff because damage step, You can't really like let's say it's a turtle, or let's say it's Goblin Zombie. Nothing really misses timing there, but you still get the draw, which is a plus. So cool. Love that guy. Gale's super important. It's a huge card. You go normal. What I like doing sometimes is if I have a Grandmaster in hand, and I have one on the field with another 6 Sam. So typically this is like a pretty usual board state that you'll have, right? But I'll go here, Prio uses effect. Now Stardust, let's say, is at 1250. Swing over, whatever, doesn't really matter. Sync off, special the second one, and now you have a synchro, right? So cool. But yeah, Gale is somewhat of an MVP. Huge card in and of itself. Yeah, gives you access to extra deck, and he's cool because I will tell you again later. Last card is Gores. Gores is really like tricky in this deck in the sense that you would have to get the reps in, know how to use your continuous spells, when to use them, and when you're okay losing them. People don't expect Gores in this deck, but he is a game ender sometimes. Gale is a game ender sometimes. Yeah, these two guys are just really good in the deck. I feel like Black Winds run Gores, but they have Whirlwind. Like, you know, so what? Why can't we? Anyways, on to the spells. What is it? 16 dudes actually, real quick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 16. Cool. 16 dudes. Technically 17 with Rhoda. Technically 18 and 20 with Gateway, but on repetition. Anyways, though, Gateway at 3. Gateway is why I play 6 Sams. Because I got into it heavily back when Samurai Assault was released. I built a deck with just 3 structure decks, came to locals the next week, and then it was emergency banned, and I didn't know that. And then I basically quit Yu-Gi-Oh! Came back in, and I saw an Edison Format, Gateway's at 3. I'm like, why is nobody playing this deck? This card is fucking nuts. Yeah, 2 counters to pump a 6 Sam by 500 until the end phase. 4 counters to search a 6 Sam from your deck or your graveyard, which is important. 6 counters to special the Shien from your graveyard, but that's really not happening. I don't run Shien or any of the, like, what is Foot Soldier a thing in Edison? I don't think so. Anyways, Gateway, super important. Big card. What you can do with Gateway, and if you have a hand, normal, search for a Grandmaster, right? So now you're at 0 counters. You search the Grandmaster, special the Grandmaster, you're at 4 counters, okay? Tribute the Grandmaster, pop something, remove 4 counters to search. You can find another Grandmaster. Grandmaster special, you're at 4. Search for another Grandmaster. Tribute, pop, boom, add, pop, boom. That's your infinite combo there. If they have 5 monsters, typically that's what you're doing. You will end off with 2 counters on each, and then you get a search afterwards, so you can search for something to set up next turn. Another hand if you think that they're going to destroy it. Typically I go Yaichi to stop anything that they do next turn, or you can get a Spirit to equip, and then the Spirit unequip also counts as a special summon. It doesn't count, it actually is just a special summon, so you get the 2 counters as well. Yeah. Gateway, one of the most broken cards in the format. Where's my Yaichi? There it is. Cool. Gateway at 3 in the deck. It's gotta be. Okay. United at 3. I run United at 3. I know some decks run it at 2. I like it at 3. It's important. You can really tease yourself with it, honestly. Because I don't use it until I know that I can get 2 counters on it. Unless I'm desperate. It's like if they swing next turn, they win type thing, right? again, because you are running Gorge, but you want to be clever with how you're running your continuous spells, right? If I have this in my hand and I have like a Yaichi or something in my hand, I'm not just going to throw this down to get the Yaichi and have the one counter and just sit on it. That's typically only happening if like I haven't seen my third Grandmaster and statistically I'm going to draw it, or they're going to swing and kill me or something, right? I'm going to have 2 counters on this, send this guy, and draw 2. Important to know that if it's just out here and you haven't sent it yet, when you activate its effect, it's tributed immediately. They can't Dust Tornado it, they can't MST it or something. So they need to do that in response to your summon. That you need to summon, they go chain, it's destroyed. But if they let the summon go, I am typically doing this first. I'm not using a monster effect. I'm doing this first to get my 2 draws. Or I'm setting something and then drawing 2 if I know that they have a dust shoot, or I'm trying to read a dust shoot. Anyways, little tip on how to play against us though. If I have Gateway out and I'm getting counters on it, you want to wait until I use the counters, okay? Because let's say I have 2 on this and 2 on this, and I remove 4 from the field to search for something. If you MST one or Dust Tornado one or something and it's gone, I don't get the effect anymore because I needed to have removed the counters as cost, right? Yeah, important to know that. You need to wait until I use the counters. Don't just pop it willy-nilly, because then I'll just have 2 counters sitting on 1, and that could actually change the game. Next, 3 upstart. Pretty obvious you want to see your cards. This becomes a 37 card deck. 36, I guess, if you want to think about Rhoda. Yeah, upstart's pretty obvious. MST, Rhoda, staples, I think, in any deck that plays Warriors. MST is MST. BrainCon, super important in the deck. It ends games, wins games. BrainCon is super important. You have Gale for the conversion, but it also, you can just take an Abzo, swing. Abzo sometimes is at 3k because you run Yaichi. Sometimes it could be at 3.5. But yeah, BrainCon ends games. Good card. My Body. I want to talk about My Body for a little bit, honestly, because it makes you feel so safe, okay? I'm thinking about running 2 and dropping to 1 trap stun, but I have 2 trap stun right now and 1 My Body. But that will come in testing, okay? If you drop, let's say, Spirit, and you go, boom, right? They go TT. Sometimes, depending on board state, I don't really care. I'll let this go, add it to my hand, or I'll add this to my hand, something, whatever. But if I have a Grandmaster in my hand and I go normal Zanji, I do that fearlessly, because what are they going to do? They go TT, right? They go bottomless. I go My Body, it stops that. If they want to solemn, cool, like whatever, 2 for 2, and they've paid like half their life. And all they've done is stop me from summoning 1 turn. I'll summon again the next turn. But typically, you're getting this off. It's 1500 for your guy, and then they're kind of shit out of luck, right? Pretty good card. My Body can be responded to, like let's say they Black Rose, right? You go Starlight, they can still My Body because it hasn't hit the graveyard yet. It's on the field. You know what I mean? So My Body's really good in terms of some like kind of like timing rulings and all that stuff. But yeah, My Body, sick card. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. 13 spells. Okay. Yeah, I don't run Defissure in the main. I don't run Defissure in the side. You'll come to see that. Okay, on for the traps. The BT's at 2. I would put it at 3 if it was at 3, but it is at 2. I play Call. This is just an alphabetical order. I don't really care about like the significance of the deck right now. But yeah, Call the Haunted. It's really good in this deck. I know it can conflict with Gores, but you're not worrying about that right now. If you are getting Call off, you are typically in a good spot because it sets your next turn up in the sense that you'll have your Sam out, or and then you normal or special your other Sam, and then you're getting your counters on your stuff because it's special. You're getting your effects off. Call super good, super good. Yeah. I mean Gale as well, right? Because you run Gale in the deck, you can get Gale off twice. Twice you can get into your extra deck here. 3D prison, you want your guys to be alive. There's a bunch of monsters in the game that are bigger than like your Yaichi, than your hand, than your spirit. Yeah, there's some monsters obviously that are bigger than your Grandmaster too. So yeah, D prison pretty good. Mirror Force does shoot Judgment. Judgment will win games. Does shoot wins games. Mirror Force wins games. Does shoot I will typically side out. You know, if I'm going second, it's not the craziest thing. You don't really want to see, but it is one of the best cards in the format. Solemn will win you games though. Yeah. And then lastly, I played the 2 Trapstone that I was talking about earlier. Trapstone super important in the deck. You set it going first. You normal your like typically, let's say my hand is like a Yaichi and a Zanji. If I'm going first, I'm normaling the Zanji first because they can't respond to it. There's nothing in the field. They're not going to bottomless that, right? But then I go Yaichi afterwards. If they have any kind of response, TT typically, trap's done. It stops it. You get your guy off. Yaichi will not pop the second thing that they have set. Pretty cool. Yeah. Trap's done at 2. Says no to TT, Mirror Force, Bottomless, D Prison. D Prison's super important actually. You don't want your stuff getting banished too often. But good also into some blind decks that run like Return from a Different Dimension, that type of thing. Okay, on to the side. I'll talk about the side first, mainly because the extra's pretty basic. It's like you're just running Gale to get into your stuff. You're not like a thematic like X Saber deck or something like that. But yeah, 2 Sidra for your machines or going second. I think that's pretty standard. Also for some like let's say Glads, if you know that they can't get over it unless they have to crash a little special acquire or something. Crow into average decks for sure, or decks that want to get like graveyard effects off. Pretty good. If you want to control some fairy counts or some Lightsworn counts, you get the idea. Kaiku wins games by itself. You normal him going second against value, let's say. They've gone Greffer, pitch Sirocco, and value. You swing into their Greffer, you deal 100, you banish both of those. Game's kind of over. Yeah. I will put him in sometimes going second, taking out an Iroh, or if it's a graveyard heavy deck, then I know that I'll take out like a Yaichi or something like that. But he doesn't get hit by a deck Devi and all that stuff, so pretty good. Kamon is super important, I think, because there's a lot of decks that have face-up spell and trap cards, right? So I'll swap them out for Yaichi. Especially if I know that they're chaining it, or like they're a hero, or decks that play like Decree, let's say, right? Some quick draw lists I know they play like Treacherous. Some Lightsworn decks I know they play like Decree, right? Instead, so if they're going Treacherous, typically they're gonna side that out, put Decrees in, and then Kamon says no to Decree. Kamon says no to Future Fusion. Kamon says no to some field spells. It might force out like a Gear Town sometimes if it's face up, but like you kind of want that because you control the timing of that, right? Yeah. Kamon, pretty cool. For spells, I just run Livo. Livo is super important to out stuff that you can't immediately get over, right? Sometimes you have the Gores and Call in hand, or you have the Brain Con that you can't, pay for, the my body that you can't pay for, or you're in a good spot, you can send a grandmaster and you can search it back and stuff. So live oak sometimes can be free, depending on what you send. But yeah, this is for like your Christia. This is for your JD if you can't pump your grandmaster and stuff like that. But yeah, I run one dust tornado. I think it's pretty safe. I'm liking it right now. On this side, especially if they're like super heavy on the spells and traps, right? I'll put this in. Now a couple floodgates. I go light imprisoning. It's not skill drain where it like negates the effect totally, but it says no to Lila, it says no to Raiko, it says no to like a bunch of graveyard stuff, honestly. A bunch of graveyard stuff, and it's pretty cool. If I'm putting light imprisoning in, I'm still keeping a Yaichi. I mean, not a Yaichi, a Zanji. I'm still keeping the Zanji. I don't care really that he's a light and he's not getting his effect. The effect of him being 1800 is the idea, but I might take one out. Who knows? But yeah, pulling, super important for like, let's say monarchs. You don't want, like, the worst thing that can happen to you sometimes is they go brain your brain, like let's say your Yaichi tribute to banish your motherfucking grandmaster. That's so bad for you, right? Pulling will stop that. Pulling stops frog. Pulling stops a bunch of other stuff. Good card. Then second floodgates are Shimp. Simp is really good. I think I side this in. Honestly, some of the most. I will take out my Iroh if I do. Not all the time. Like I'll take out an Iroh. I'll just take out one because he doesn't get his effect. But you'd rather see this than Iroh in some cases. You know what I mean? Just because Iroh's a dark. But yeah, Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, Light Imprisoning Mirror. You're not running, like, your deck is not really a thematic thing in the sense that it runs like lights, like your Lightsworn, or fairies, like your lights, or darks, like your Blackwing. So this comes in against Blackwing and all that type of stuff, yeah? Lastly, I play one Starlight Road if I know that they go into like GBs. Starlight Road is really good. Stuff that gets Black Rose out pretty often. If I know that they're running a heavy and I want to anticipate it, if I want to be a bit safe, yeah, Starlight Road's nice. I am testing a 16th card. I want to shout out Flo for honestly helping me with a lot of the deck, but this pick as well. I will run this at locals. Obviously, I won't run this like a big events or something like that if I ever go to one. But I'm running Exiled Force right now. This is a test. This is a 16th card that I do not put in. This is like, I want to see it. If I'm facing a Raiko, if I'm facing, like, let's say like Twilight Sworn, I'm taking out a Iroh. I'm putting a Simp in, but I'm also putting a Exiled Force in. Exiled Force, it's not gonna get bottom list, right? It can get trap hold, but like whatever, you prio, send, and then you're popping like a Raiko, like a Christia or whatever, if you have your dudes out already, right? Like, let's say you have a 6M and a Grandmaster, they swing in, pop on your dudes. Next turn you go Exile Force, pop, like you can start doing stuff again, right? Exile Force is nice as well because you can get it out with Rhoda. Good card. Quickly onto the extra deck. It's pretty basic. 2 Chimera Tech for your Sidras, Armory Arm. Sometimes you brain a frog or something like that, right? Yeah. Cataster. Armdoing I do make, honestly, occasionally. Bryanak, I don't make that often, but he's nice to have. Goyo. Mirror Match is insane. Goyo is crazy in the Mirror Match. Gateway, crazy in the Mirror Match, obviously. This is good for decks like that, let's say GBs, right? Where like you get this out, put them in defense, and like you've got Threatening Ward already probably because you're popping something, but then you just special the guy out and you're getting your counters, you're getting your advantage, right? You're getting your value. Black Rose, Armor Master. Armor Master I'm making a lot more often because 3 and a 4 happens a lot. Colossal Fighter, I have 2 Stardust because you run the Starlight and it's easy to make with a 3 and a 8, 3 and a 5. Thought Ruler, Mistworm. Mistworm because you have Earths. You can go 2 Spirit and Gale. But yeah, that's the deck. Let me know what you guys think. Try it out yourself. See if you like it. So let me know what you guys think. Yeah, any comments, questions as to why I run something, why I don't run something, how I typically do, what my matchups are like, what I'm siding. Let me know.